Hey everybody, A Pink Lemon here. Welcome back to another episode in our not-so-new series where we take Beyblade parts commonly disregarded by the community and try and unlock their hidden potential, if they have any. Today, we're taking on the challenge of trying to salvage the Inferno Fusion wheel, truly one of the worst metal wheels of all time, which released as the hybrid wheel version of the original Sagittario, which I don't actually have, but this is what the original Sagittario was, which wasn't even that good to begin with. Although it fits the bill of a Sagittario Fusion wheel very well, that's about where the positive aspects of this wheel end, as much like many of the hybrid versions of pre-hybrid wheels, Inferno is far too light to possess any sort of defensive capabilities, and although it's supposed to be a stamina type wheel, its biggest weakness is the protruding nature of its outer edge, which gives it far too much recoil to conserve spin effectively. So how exactly are we going to make this wheel any good if it has almost no redeeming qualities in any attribute? Well, we're going to turn its biggest weakness into, hopefully, its biggest strength. See, although this wheel may be very light, due to its 4 points of focused weight and these divots in the wheel, this should allow us to turn this fusion wheel into an all-or-nothing attack type with a stupendous amount of recoil that should be able to rock any opponent, with the downside of sort of rocking itself in the process. So without further ado, let's create a new combo and put it through 4 levels of Beyblade battles. Unlike last episode, due to the raised nature of Inferno, we can't just use Gravity Ball 145 to account for the lack of weight. This also means we can't rely on traditional short weighty attack tracks like Shield 130 or tall attack tips like Rubber Flat, as it makes the Bey near 145 height and causes it to be quite unwieldy and vulnerable to upper attacks. So in lieu of a fun spin track, I've given it Left Wing 105 because it's a solid height and it matches with my chosen performance tip, Extreme Flat. If we're going all or nothing, Extreme Flat is a no-brainer with its excellent high speed and attack power and perhaps the potential for tornado stalling. Finally, to try and fix the weight problem, this combo will be Inferno Aquario Metal Face Heavy, with Aquario being the heaviest energy ring, and although this is a custom metal face bolt, I assure you it weighs the same as a regular one. And as the cherry on top, to give Inferno the best chance to perform well, we'll be using a modified burst dynamite launcher, which is now the most powerful launcher in my arsenal, and in fact the only launcher in my arsenal, because my other one broke. So now that our combo's been made, let's meet our first opponent. For our first opponent, we'll be versing Leone, a personal favorite Bey of mine, and in my opinion, among one of the best defense types in the entirety of the Metal Saga to set a baseline for this new combo's attack power. Using the rim of the stadium, Aquario accelerates towards Leone and wins with a knockout. Score is now 1-0. What is this, Beyblade X? And at the last second, when it looked like it was the end for Aquario, it still manages a knockout. The score is now 2-0. And after a failed attempt to recreate its victory from the last round, Leone wins with a sleep out. The score is now 2-1. And by using the edges of the stadium to its advantage, Inferno Aquario lands a perfectly aimed knockout at Leone and wins the battle. Well, I guess I'll just have to eat my words about Leone, because despite being repelled out of its flower pattern multiple times, Aquario still managed to land some stunning knockouts and keep up with Leone's impressive stamina and defense to eventually land the victory. For our second opponent, we'll be versing our Fang Leone evolution to literally step it up by utilizing the evolved version of Leone with an even further upgraded combo to start seeing what kind of damage Inferno can do. Fang Leone will be starting in counter mode. A quick upper attack from Aquario sends Fang Leone flying out of the stadium. The score is now 1-0. That was amazing! Using the initial recoil from its hit against Fang Leone, Inferno Aquario pops up into the air and then comes down on top of Fang Leone and wins the round with a knockout, making the score now 2-0. Fang Leone will be switching into defense mode. Despite Aquario being able to really get under Leone, it ends up not making a scratch and loses to a sleep out. The score is now 2-1. Once again, despite Aquario's ability to get below and above Leone, it will not budge, and it just barely loses with a sleep out, making the score now 2-all. Despite some close calls for Leone, and I mean some really close calls, Fang Leone manages to stand its ground and wins the round with a sleep out, giving it the victory. Damn, Inferno might have had it in the first half, but after being put into defense mode, no matter how much Inferno tried to get under Fang Leone, and oh boy, did it try, Leone just would not budge despite its relatively lightweight, and won with a comeback. For our third battle, this is where it gets serious, because for the first time on this channel, we're battling Twisted Tempo, the king of all defense types, as a definitive test of our new Inferno combo's power. Surprisingly, Aquario takes advantage of Tempo's imbalance and wins with a knockout. The score is now 1-0. Aquario once again uses the stadium to its advantage, catching the rim and knocking Tempo out twice in a row, making the score now 2-0. And even with relatively little contact, Tempo counters and wins with a knockout, making the score now 2-1. And after barely touching, both bays are sent flying, making the score still 2-1. Aquario tries to use the rim to its advantage again, but Tempo holds on and wins with a knockout. The score is now 2-all. And in a twist I don't think anyone expected, after a short windup, Inferno Aquario knocks out Twisted Tempo and wins the battle. Oh my God, what an upset! I knew Aquario might have had a slim chance of winning thanks to Tempo's aggression and the extra spin from the new launcher, but I would have never imagined that the battle would have gotten as close as that, let alone Aquario actually winning. Truly a victory to remember. For our final battle, we're going up against the defensive bastion that is Quetzalcoatl. Outside of tornado stalling, I think Inferno has no chance, and if it lands anything close to a knockout, I think it will have definitively proved itself. Quetzalcoatl will be starting in defense mode. And after only one small tap, Inferno Aquario slides out of the stadium. The score is now 0-1. And in a comical turn of events, Inferno Aquario is knocked into one pocket, only to recover and then immediately fly into another pocket, making the score now 0-2. And after a thrilling race around the stadium, Inferno Aquario is knocked into the same pocket for the third time in a row, giving Quetzalcoatl the victory. Geez, I expected Quetzalcoatl to not budge, but I didn't expect it to bite back, as it absolutely demolished Inferno without even needing to change its mode. And honestly, I wouldn't expect anything less from probably the best stock combo of all time. God damn, I knew Inferno was going to create some explosive battles, but I did not expect to be fearing for my life every time it came into contact with another Beyblade. Thank God the stadium I use has a barrier, and I didn't even notice this till after filming, but my left wing 105 spin track actually sustained some heavy damage after all that high recoil and slide launching. That being said, the results of whether or not we salvage this fusion wheel are pretty inconclusive, as even though it managed enough attack power to defeat Leone and go toe-to-toe with Twisted Tempo, and even eventually end up defeating it, something I would have never imagined happening. Truly a testament to its newfound attack power. When it was put up against both 40 opponents, even the relatively light Fang Leone, it still lost pretty miserably, being 3-0'd against Quetzalcoatl. But I guess since it's a non-40 part, being able to defeat non-40 opponents is all it really needs. So for now, we'll call this one a maybe. That's enough out of me though. What do you guys think of this combo, and do you think we've successfully salvaged the Inferno Fusion Wheel? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know how you tried to fix Inferno as well. Also guys, don't forget we are less than 100 subscribers away from our 1,000 subscriber milestone. So if you haven't already, and you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel, especially if you want to see my coverage of the upcoming Beyblade X series, and more Metal Fight content of course. Thanks to your vote, I am already working on the next viewer submission combo video, so for a chance to see your combo, subscribe and leave a comment below, and you might just feature in a future video. Until then, I've been a Pink Lemon, and I hope you have a great day.